Already sweating.
All right. Welcome everyone to the Freedom Family Call. I'm so pumped for tonight. Before I introduce our speaker, I have a couple little announcements to share. Number one, I posted a video today and a little competition, not really competition, giveaway would be better, for a transformation post. I feel like there's a lack of confidence in sharing, which is why I'm so excited about the call tonight. So I want everyone to come with a side-by-side before and after of some part of their journey and recently, and post it in the team page under the post. And I'm going to do a drawing and give away something fun. Just because this is what, like, sharing our stories, what inspires people. And that's what you're going to learn tonight. That's why I asked Nicole to come speak. So please go watch the video and do that. You need to do it by Saturday. And then the other thing is that our retreat registration, we have 8 spots left, so it's filling up, which is super exciting. I'm going to be opening a small group for those going on retreat, but check out the event for the information on the retreat. And if you're considering going, get registered, because it's going to be in January. Super fun, hanging out in Pigeon Forge, lots of hot coffee by the fire, pretty view. Hey, maybe we'll get snowed in and stay for a week, leave all the kids with our husbands. Wouldn't that be amazing? No, I didn't plan that. But if you want to go, the second payment is due today. But also just check it out. And if you're nervous about it or have questions, guys, events are crucial. Like I was telling Nicole before I started to hit record, last year this time I was packing for a trip to Dallas where we got to hang out. It was amazing. And like every retreat event, I mean, I've gone to them and I've learned and I've plugged into my business, but I've also gone to them and been filled up just to get connected with people who are growing and meet people that I like wouldn't meet if I just stayed in my own little bubble here of like all the kids and life and school and things. And that's what this is about. It's about growing in who we know. And then you grow in your confidence in yourself. And so I want to encourage you, if you've been on the fence about it, to really like discern, is it you're not going because you've got a really good reason, or you're not going just because it's really uncomfortable? Because you can ask, like Allison Vatter last year just flew up here from New Orleans and was super like nervous, and it was like very turning point in her journey as a coach, and she's coming back. I was so excited. Her husband like surprised her and was like, "You're going." So super, super pumped. But please check that out. Because I'm going to be ordering t-shirts and getting stuff together and things for in December, and I need to know who's coming. So I'm really, really excited. But tonight, you guys, I am really pumped about our little guest speaker here, Nicole. So I'm going to share a little bit about her and a little bit why I asked her to come, and then I'm going to let her take over. But Nicole has been a coach for on and off for you've been a coach for 4 years, on and off for 4 years. Okay. I jotted down some notes from when we were chatting. She started her focus on the business side last April, and really focusing more on her journey. Now she wants to do this full time. She is engaged. She is getting married in May. So exciting. She lives in Ohio, not too far from me, not around the corner, but not too far from me. She's in Columbus. Since tapping into her journey, she has lost 40 pounds and 25 inches, which is amazing. She's gone from a size 16 to a size 12, and she's really passionate about making this her, like she said to me today on the, we were chatting through Instagram, like keeping her hustle holy, tapping into it and incorporating like she and her fiance so they can be home and make this like their mission. You know what I mean? And so something that is crucial to our sharing of our story is not just posting transformation photos. It's stepping into who you are, what your flavor is in this Beachbody network, like what you want to bring to the table, who you want to serve, and having confidence in you and how unique you are. And I met Nicole, I've met her before, but we hung out more last year in Dallas. And I felt like that was what was cool about it, was just kind of getting to know people. And something I've like enjoyed about following her, and I watch her stories and love about her journey, is that she is her. And when I see her be herself, it inspires me to tap into me being me. Like, I don't feel like I have to copy her or mimic her. When we were hanging out, like, she liked me for me. I didn't have to change anything. And I don't know about you, but when you grow up sometimes being a people pleaser, you wonder if like, can I be myself? You need to be around people that let you be yourself and love you for it no matter what. And she's shared her journey. She's shared about her engagement. She's shared about the ups and downs, the emotional sides of things. She shares about how it's not always perfect. She's very real and honest, and she's fun, and you can get to know her. What you see on Instagram is the real deal. And so I was really excited to have her come speak to you tonight, because there's one thing I wish I could have done sooner as a coach. It would have been to have the confidence to really just be me. I was never fake, but I think I was more of like a softer, held back from being myself out of fear of rejection and fear of being judged and all the whatever fears. And since being a coach, like, I'm more confident in who I am, and I see that in her, and I want her story to inspire you to do that for yourself, and to know that your flavor matters. Hashtag. Like, you know, we need that. And so listen to what she has to say. I love how she shared, you know, how when she tapped into her journey, she also tapped into her mission to build the business. And so no matter where you are in your journey and where you are in your business building, you're going to get something from tonight. I have my pen ready. I always take notes on these calls. I always learn something. You can type questions in the chat, but I'm going to go ahead and hand it over. Thank you so much for being here tonight.
Hi guys. So first I'm going to say thank you. I am so honored to be here with you guys. As soon as Kelly reached out, I was like, absolutely, I will do this. I would love to just share more of what we do as individuals, but also what can help us as a team. So I apologize in advance. I'm probably going to blow your ears out with some kind of cough at one point. I've been struggling since like Saturday. This is the best I've felt all week. So I apologize in advance. I'll try to mute myself before it happens. So if you listen with earbuds, it's not like, it's not like super loud, because that is not fun. So I'll try my best. So I am just, again, thank you so much. I am so honored to be here. Do you want me to just tell more about it, or do you have questions for me?
You can just go. Just go
okay.
for it.
So I will go ahead. Oh gosh, on the spot. Summer, whenever you talk on Summer's, like our big team call,
yeah,
she's always like, I'm going to ask you all these questions. And I'm like, all right, Summer, you got it. No, you don't have to at all. I'm a talker. It's okay. It's kind of like what I do.
Okay.
So I will say, I'll start with, like Kelly mentioned, I started with being a coach about 4 years ago. I watched my sister-in-law, Summer. I will name drop her because she's the best person. She's also my maid of honor. So I asked her at Summit, like, it was super, super cute. Anyway, so my brother is Chad. We all know him. He's super fun. Anyway. So I started about 4 years ago, and I really signed up because there were so many people within my family that were already doing it. Excuse me. And I was like, I guess I'll go ahead and do it. Like, I watched Summer, my sister-in-law, reach like the Millionaires Club. I watched her bring Chad home. I watched them pay off $100,000 in debt. I watched my mom become like a person again, because my mom's worked in corporate America for about 25 years. And she just went through a time when I don't know if anyone here works outside the home or is in corporate America. You become a different person when you're in corporate America. It changes you. So she became more alive, and like has purpose again. And it's just, everyone's thriving around me. And I was like, I guess I'll do it. Like, whatever. Like, everyone's doing it. And I really didn't commit to my business until last April. Last April was when I was at I'm going to like catch my breath too, because like I said, I'm sick. So I apologize in advance for like all the noises I may possibly make. Like, yeah, she was great, but she was super phlegmy. Like, but about last April, I was at the heaviest I'd ever been. I was at 275. I might have been more. I stopped weighing myself at 275. So I might have been more. I get pretty emotional about this because I just remember feeling so terrible. And I remember like every day sucked. It sucked. That's what it was. It was terrible. And I look back on it now and I'm like, man, you really put your body through the ringer. I was wheezing going upstairs. My entire body hurt. Yeah, you stop wearing clothes that don't stretch. That's exactly right, Sarah. Like, I hated, I was in a corporate job. We were allowed to wear jeans. I wore jeans every day. I had to sit in my desk and just be miserable in a pair of jeans. And I hated it. I hated how I felt. My fiance, if you ever get a chance to meet him, we are complete opposites, and it's amazing, thank God, because if there were two of me, we would burn the world to the ground. We would. My mom has said it. So he is a phenomenal person, and your spouse will love you no matter what you look like, right? Like, they love you no matter what. He's like, you are beautiful, you are wonderful. I'm like, I know, but I don't feel it, you know? So, cut to, I finally hit my breaking point. I don't really remember what it was, but I had just hit a wall, and I was like, enough is enough. I can't do this anymore. I don't want to leave this earth before God intended me to leave it. Does that make sense? Like, God has a plan, but you also have a way of derailing those plans. Does that make sense? So I just told myself, hold on, stuff's happening. What's happening? There we go. So I want to see all your faces. So I was like, I'm going to fix this. So I told myself enough is enough. I started with, To Be Mindset wasn't quite out yet. So I just started watching what I was eating. Lift 4 was out, and that was my jam. Like, I've done 3 rounds of that program. It is how I lost my first 30 pounds. And then the other 10 have just been miscellaneous programs in between. MM100 has been amazing for me. I've really shrank. But anyway, we'll get back to that. So I started eating better. I lost like my first 10 pounds like that, just because I was already so heavy. And when you're that heavy, if you make one change, you're going to see a difference. So I just kept losing, and I kept working out. Soon enough, you're purchasing new clothes. You're getting cuter workout clothes because you like working out again and all that kind of stuff. And then I really started getting into my business. Excuse me. And I don't remember the moment it happened, but I was just like, I want to make people feel the way I feel now. We all have that. We've all had that before, and we now have our during or our afters, and we see the people that we're helping. I get so emotional, and we see what they're now going through that we've been through. And you think to yourself, I have to do something. So whenever some people ask what I do as a coach, I always say I use the tools that I've been given with the knowledge that is at hand to change a life. And people love that answer, or they're like, I don't get it. Or my Josh coach, I don't get it. Like, or they're like, no, that's not really what that means. Okay, well, there's money involved, but that for me came at a much later time, especially through my journey, especially sharing my journey. As soon as I started sharing workout clips in my stories on Instagram, I have to censor myself on this call because I've got a potty mouth. Stuff just started, like, all kinds of stuff. I got all these new followers, and people were like, holy cow, what are you doing? You look phenomenal. I'm like, thank you. Like, you just try to be like humble, but you're like, I've been working. Like, you try really hard to be humble. But you're also like, I know I do because I've been working. So I will say this, I'm going to be all over the place because I didn't write a thing down. That was my bad. But I will say, if you're not showing small snippets of each workout, every day you're doing it, you're not really promoting your business. So please share your product, please share your workouts, please share tips and tricks you have. If you're meal planning on a Sunday, share that. Like, I recently did a bunch of stories about how I do not spend 4 hours on a Sunday meal prepping. I can't. That kind of organization makes me lose my mind. Like, I just can't. It's too hard for me. So what I do every night is I prep for my next day. Oh, good. People relate. It's when people tell you, like, prepping's easy. 5 hours on a Saturday or a Sunday? No, sir. NFL's on. I don't have time for this. Like, so I just do it. You find what works for you, but share what's working for you. Like, Kelly and Sarah share a lot about, I'm sure you guys do too, a lot about their faith. And that's amazing. So I love it. I will go to their stories first if I need a pick-me-up because I know it's going to be uplifting. It's going to be pretty badass. Like, I do it. I can't help myself. So we all have people. I'm out of breath. I'm so sorry. I also have like a much cuter voice than this, so this is my like nighttime voice apparently. But if it's working for you, share it. That's my point I'm trying to make. If it's working for you, please share it. So, should have taken notes. So let me go through what I share every day. Not recently, please don't go look at my stories now. They are hot garbage right now because I've been sick and I don't care. Right? That sounds terrible. I'm still sharing, but I haven't worked out since maybe Saturday because I just can't do it because I'm hacking. So yeah, if you follow me, do not look at my stories. So they've been pretty good today, but before I was like, okay, post this quote. Somebody mentioned me in their story. Here's another cool quote. Here's a cool like meme I found. Like that's what I've been doing for like the last 3 days. But usually what I do, as soon as I wake up in the morning, I do my own version of personal development while I'm getting ready. I plug into something somehow. If it's not like, everyone's a little different. So find what works for you, but you have to get personal development in your head right away. So I'll usually put in whatever book I'm listening to for just a little bit. Right now I'm listening to, it's a fairly new book. It's called Stories That Stick. It's Kelly, it's so good. It is so good. Like her intro alone, I was like done, sold, it was so good. So I recommend it. I don't remember her name, but it's got a really pretty cover. So if you don't, I guess I'm not looking it up. You can find it. You know how. Get something in your ear, whether it's visual or it's audible. That's the word. Sure, guys. It's been a really long week. Get something that's going to help you throw momentum into your day. And as soon as I'm at like the hype, after my personal development, boom, I'm in my stories. I do 1 or 2 motivational quotes in the morning. What did I post this morning? I will show you what I did this morning. You don't need to see it, but I can see it. Actually, this morning was a meme because, don't worry about it because I was in a mood. So like one of the stories that I posted this morning was she builds others up because she knows what it's like to be torn down. I always start with a positive message, and I usually do, if I'm feeling frisky, I'll do 2 back-to-back because it also changes up the algorithm, so you're staying in people's stories longer, or you're staying at the top and they'll click on you. Does that make sense? So it's either 1 and you're good, or you do double and just back-to-back. And then after that, I go to work because I work outside the home because I don't have 19 kids yet. Yeah, that's not happening. We want 2. That's fine. Let me walk down this aisle first, you guys. Probably about, excuse me. So they tell you, don't post so much that your dashes become dots. Is that like in your Instagram stories? Because we all know those people where you're like, I don't have time to watch all these. And you're just like, swipe. So don't do too many that they become dots instead of dashes. Some days they're going to be more than others because you're promoting your current challenge group or you're working on a new one. I've seen it on Kelly and Sarah's a lot right now, like the Grateful For one. I think that visual is phenomenal, and I have it screenshotted in my phone, so I don't know where you got it from, but it's real cute. So if you're promoting something on a certain day, they might be more, and that is totally okay, but just know that your audience, we only have enough, what's that word I'm looking for? You get bored after a while. So they're just gonna be like, oh, she's so encouraging. Okay, I'm done. So about an hour later, maybe 2 hours later, I'll do like something's funny to me. I'll do that because that always kind of breaks up the monotony. I get a lot of hits on those. I'll do polls on the funny ones. Like, do you think this is funny? And they'll be like, haha, move the bar all the way to the right, just to keep them engaged so you can see who's actually watching you. And then I always post when I'm eating for lunch. People really dig it. I don't understand where that fascination came from. I forgot to post my lunch yesterday and people were like, are you just not eating? I'm like, dang, y'all, like I can barely breathe. So people expect certain things from you and they're waiting. It sounds, I don't mean this to sound cocky, but there are people that watch my stories every day who, when I don't post, they're reaching out like, is everything okay? These are people I've never met before. And I'm like, yeah, I'm great. Do you want to buy a challenge pack? I don't say that, but I should. What if we just let in with that? Like, hey, girl, hey. People don't like that. Don't do that. But I always post my lunch. So today, so what I do in those kind of posts is I make them, because it's just a food post. So you want other stuff in there. So it's a lot of words, a lot of colors. I'll pull colors from what I'm eating to use on my font or my text, stuff like that. Like today, it was just like, I used to make this thing all the time that's called like a burrito bowl. It's literally spinach. Kelly, did you see my story today? It was literally spinach, cauliflower rice, and some chicken. I was like, the burrito bowl's back, y'all. Like, and that's what I said. And people were like, yeah, the burrito bowl. Because I used to make it all the time. So I brought it back. We just had a lot of leftover chicken. That's all that was. But like I said, people are watching. They see you. I can't wait for this to be done. Gosh, so much elderberry. So I'll post my lunch. I make it super colorful. And I always leave out specifics. There's this one dressing I use on all my salads. It's a non-dairy dressing. And instead of calling it by its name, I say like, and featuring my non-dairy dressing. So leave out specifics because people will ask if they want it. Excuse me. Literally every day I have someone like, what's this non-dairy dressing? I'll just tell you guys, it's Tesame's. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. Oh, it's to die for. They're habanero ranch. Oh my gosh. So leave out, it's so good. It also comes in like a bunch of other flavors and they have single serve packets now. What? I know, Kelly. I know, you guys. So I was on their website yesterday and I was like, oh, add to cart, and then I bought it. So leave out specifics. If there's one thing you come away from, excuse me, of anything in this class, leave out some specifics. Just like when we're sharing our workouts, we're not like, well, some people it works for them, but like day 55 or workout 55 of morning meltdown 100, just call it MM100. People will ask what it is. That kind of, it works for me if people like specifics. That it's just, yes, you have to create engagement, and that is a great way to do it. Thank you. Took the words out of my mouth. Wasn't getting there. So I'll post lunch, and then like I said, I work in corporate America, so having my phone out is kind of iffy. So I'll do it while I can. Sometimes I have it prepped. There have been days where like I have back-to-back meetings. I will go into like Pinterest or something the night before, and I'll save a bunch of quotes and pictures. And then I'll just, whenever I have a second, I'll just pop it in and then just zoom. It's in my story. So I'm not spending a lot of time searching. So if you know you're going to have a super busy day, try to plan ahead. Just like I plan out my posts. I'll sit down on Sunday night and I plan out all my posts for the week. I'm in a pretty important financial investment group right now. So I'm following it to a T. So I sit down on Sundays and I plan out my posts. If I have an engagement post on one day, if I'm talking about product on a different day, if I'm sharing a transformation. Yes, okay. I did not start here. This is not, I will say like, yes, the tracker, but yeah, Josh Coates tracker, man. So I didn't start here. I just learned from the best. I've been surrounded by people like Kelly and Sarah who just throw momentum in my face. I'm like, okay, I'm sorry. Like, I'll work harder. So when you're surrounded by that kind of hustle, you just want to emulate it. You want to be like that. So I try really hard to plan out my days because, like I said, I'm in corporate America, and I'm sure like stay-at-home moms, you guys are so busy too. Like, God bless you. Oh my goodness, my mind, 9 kids is so many. So many. But like, if you have a second, just plan as much as you can, because at the end of the day, it's not about being perfect, but the better you can get your content out there in a very articulate way, it's going to look better in the long run. So if you watch my stories on a day where I'm really on, I may be getting 500 people view my stories. Yeah, it's a lot. I know. It didn't start that way at all. I mean, so I don't watch it as closely as I used to because I do the thing where I compare. I'm like, oh, but I only have like this many viewers on this day. It's fine. People are watching you because they love you and they want to see you succeed. I get a lot of, oh my God, you're so funny. I'm like, thank you. Buy this challenge pack. No, we don't. Again, we don't do that. If I could, I would. But so I'm so on a tangent. But so periodically throughout my day, I'll just pop into my stories and I'll start sharing stuff. People mention me in their stories. Like a lot of times if like Susan Kuntz, she's my accountability, like my push partner with exercise. So she's always tagging me. Kelly will tag me. Sarah tags me sometimes. Jordan McCorkle will tag me. So I'm always mentioning that in my stories because it shows that like we're in this together. We're building a team. It's so important. And I've had people join just because they see the camaraderie and they're like, you encourage so many. Thank you. But this is what we do as a team. We lift each other up. So make sure you're showing that. Make sure you're showing, well, you should be sharing that anyway because you're supposed to be sharing your business. But if you're not, that's a really easy way to show the business without being all like in someone's face salesy. So start mentioning people in your stories. Start like one day I did like a push-up challenge and I tagged like 10 people and only 3 of them did the challenge. So I'm not going to name names, Sarah. Anyway. But it works. She's so
no way. When did you
I don't actually think I put you in that one. I don't think I did.
Okay. Good.
Because you would have done it. You would have definitely done it. But just make sure you're incorporating the rest of your team. Like I know sometimes you guys pray at the end of calls, which I think is phenomenal. You should share that, especially I know a lot of Kelly's coaches and challengers it's faith-based. So you need to promote what works for you. And so I would share that immediately. Like as soon as like the call's ending, like a quick little, and then just go back to praying. But like you should show that, like what other team what other corporate business do you know that prays at meetings? That kind of thing. But put in like a really like fun spin-offy way because people need to see that like this is not just about, we're not just hey girls in your message, like in your DMs and all that kind of stuff. We're faithful people and we're encouraging people. And this is how we do it. Make my hustle holy. Like make that a hashtag. Kelly uses that as a hashtag. And I've gone into that hashtag on Instagram and it's amazing. It's a gold mine. So show people your heart through that kind of stuff. Like when I mention stuff, it's always very encouraging, like you go girl, you're killing it, stuff like that. Or when people mention me, like Sarah mentioned me today as a transformation. And I don't think I shared that one, but I need to. And I was like, as soon as you see that kind of stuff, just share it. Just put it in your stories. It can be back to back to back. It doesn't matter. It shows accountability. It shows teamwork. It shows all kinds of love. So I'll do that. And then toward the end of my day, I'll post something like ready to go home and like chug my jiggle juice, which is what I call energized because I can't call it mom crack because I'm not a mom. And I also don't like unicorn juice or whatever because I feel like Prove It really took that away from us and just ran with it. So it makes me kind of sad. So, but I'll be like, ready to get home, or I'll just do like a boomerang of me chugging my energized. No excuse juice. I like that. Oh, that's really good. Yeah, because once you take that, you might as well, it's over. It's game time. So I'll share like I'm excited to get home because I get to work out. And a lot of times I'll say that, excuse me, I'll say like ready to go home and I get to work out. Show how short your commute is. Last week I showed my commute to my basement and I was like, traffic's crazy today, you guys. And I got so much engagement. Like it was just me walking down the stairs to my unfinished basement. And then I was flipping through BOD to be like, oh, the machines were full. And And then I did one of like me finding the program, like, this is so annoying. And people loved it. They were like, that's so real. Like, my basement's unfinished too. And I was like, get out of town. Like, it's just, people are so ready to just know that you're a real person. So share, like, our unfinished basement is ugly as sin. It is hideous. Like, it's an unfinished basement. It's creepy. And our stairs creak when you walk down, so that made it just a little bit better. But people want to see that you're real. People want to see that. So show the commute. Like, long day at the office, gotta get downstairs this commute. Yeah, exactly. Show them like what it's really like to be a mom, like what it's like to be someone that works at home, because we all see those like top name coaches that have like entire rooms dedicated to all their awards. And yes, that was, I remember that was, you almost died. So, and you were like, oh, back to working out. But we all see those, we try not to compare, but sometimes we do. We see those videos of top coaches working out and they're like amazing at-home gym areas. And no, mine, I'm surrounded by power tools. Our washing machine is sometimes running and it's super duper loud. I do, however, have a ring light that was gifted to me by my brother and my sister-in-law for my birthday last year. So I have that. So the lighting is pretty good. But just show them the realness. And then I'll share, I typically go into my stories and like, happy Monday, friends, or happy Taco Tuesday, or what's up, it's Wednesday. Like, I do that kind of stuff and then I talk to people for a little bit, like maybe 5 or 6 clips. And I talk to people. Oh, it's your favorite part. I haven't been doing it lately, and I've had a lot of people like, you good? Like, you're not talking to us anymore? I'm like, guys, because it does take up time. So sometimes I'll do it like, I don't recommend this. Sometimes I'll do it like 3 or 4 times before I'm satisfied with it. So I know, it's so stupid. But I'm like, sometimes I just don't talk well, and I'm like, no one can see this kind of crazy. No one can see this. So I do too. And like, I'm like, hey, reel it in, Hambel. Like, you're like 6 clips in and it's going to cut off shortly. And you're like, oh yeah, today's upper body strength. Bye. And then I'll just run away from the camera. But I always end it with like a wink and like something like that. People love it. Just show who you are. I mean, I do really well with just showing my humor because it's so easy for me. And I love being goofy and I love being funny. And I just love like making people laugh. So I always show that. Then I'll show my workout clips. I am out of breath. I keep saying that. I will say, if you're going to show your workout clips, show some that aren't perfect. I have really bad balance. And there's a couple moves in MeltCon that I'm like, oh, we're just going to bounce on this one leg and lift these 2. Jerica, no, we're not, girlfriend. No, we're not. So I try to be real. I'll make a joke like, balance is on point today, and it's not. But then show some that you're like really hustling. You're like those bolt burpees you've been working really hard at, like that meltdown minute that's always kicked your butt. Yeah, wheels wobble. This one doesn't fall down though, so. So just show people like the realness, but show them like this is a workout you can do, because people are gonna want to see that it's doable. Because who else gets those questions like, can I do this too? I mean, yeah, I'm a hot mess, so you could probably do this too. Like I think I'm gonna put that just in my my bio on Instagram, like hot mess with a hustle. Or I'm gonna write that down. No one take that. Hot mess with a hustle. Oh, this pen doesn't work. Anyway, someone put it in the comments. I'm going to write it down. But they show the real you. So by the end of the day, perfect. Hot mess with a hustle. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. See, I take notes too, Kelly. So just always show people. So after that, I'm either done for the night. I record my videos as I go. I don't record the whole workout. I record a few, and then I'm set, and then I'll edit them after, and then I'll just load them in. After that, I might be done for the night, or I'll post if we're doing. So here's what I use for editing. Rebecca, do you have an iPhone? Where's little Rebecca? That's what I use. So I record it in my camera with my iPhone camera. And as soon as they're in your phone, you actually have a way to go back in and edit them yourself. I don't use any app because I put my own music on it from Instagram. I just pick a song and then I just try to match up the timing of it. That's what I do. I don't use an app. I don't have time for that fancy stuff. I'm trying to get it done as quick as possible. I have in the past done, if you use Splice and stuff like that. Yes. Yeah. I might have to do a tutorial of it sometime. It does take forever, so just be patient. Again, so I don't really leave my basement until I'm done editing because that's taking time away from Brian, my fiance. So I try to just leave everything downstairs, and then I come up and we're good to go. But that's usually what I do. That's my whole day. Like I said, it's either I stop with all my videos after my workout clips, or I'll share our dinner. I usually do a Taco Tuesday post because I make a mean burrito bowl and people like seeing them, and I put them in this big, pretty white bowl. And then I stand in our pantry because it has the best lighting. And then I put Foodie app on it, and then I take the picture. They're like, "Oh my God, your food always looks so good." I'm like, "Thanks, that's the filter." But I mean, I will say, if your pictures are, here's the reason I do it. Because people like bright stuff. They like professional. When it comes to your food, it better be so bright that I can see the lines in that pepper. Because that's what I want to see. Like when you click to people's stories, you're like, all right, well, that's just soup. And it doesn't have any dimension. Like Sarah does a really good job when you do broth. It looks so good. Like everyone's shaking their head because apparently everyone knows about Sarah's broth. But it looks so good. So make it look like they want to eat it. Like they want to come to your house. And it also shows that it's doable. Again, it's doable. So if you're sharing your easy food or even your more complicated food, yeah, get back to it. Wish I had some. Sarah, any broth? Sarah messaged me earlier with all this stuff I should be taking, and I was like, okay, Mom, thank you. Thanks so much. She was the best. Lightroom works too. So one of my favorite apps is Foodie. I use it for literally everything. Even if it's not food, I will use it. I think I use that just, it's worth it. Foodie is such a good app. So good. Please use it. So I use it on everything. So let me get back on track real quick before, I'm sure you might have questions. Let me just get back on track. So I'm usually done sharing at the end of the day, but sometimes I have a really bad habit of laying in bed on my phone at night. I know it's bad for your REM sleep. I know, guys, but what if I find a really good quote on Instagram or Pinterest? If I see something that really speaks to me at night, I'll post it, and then I'll be done. That will boost your views if you do, say your last story was 3 hours ago. Go ahead and if you have a big time crunch, if a big time gap, go ahead and post another one because you'll come back in people's focus. Because people are always scrolling, they're always going back to the top to see what's new. So if you got a big gap, try not to leave it because you want constant engagement. So a lot of times that late night post, same, I get it. It's totally fine. Let me finish and then I'll look at the questions just so I can wrap it up. So I forgot what I was saying. So I'll post it and then I'm just done. Your stories will be there in the morning. But yeah, so that is my day in a nutshell. Was that helpful?
No, I think that was really good because I think, so what you guys will see is number one, you shared how you fit it in because we all have, it's going to sound like the worst ever. We all have cracks.
Yeah, we do.
But what I mean is we have corporate cracks, we have mom cracks, we have part-time working cracks, we've got cracks. And so Not many of us have it where we can like sit down for a solid 3 straight hours without a single interruption, or an hour, and
I
work our
wish.
business. No. And so I love how you shared, like, but what you also shared is how, because you, like, not only do you work your business in that, you share the parts of that, because then people see how you're doing what you're doing. And so I'll be totally honest, like sometimes I get overcaught, that's not the right word. Caught up and trying to, like,
though.
yeah, hey, it sounded great. And trying to like get it all done the right way, that I'm not doing it my way. And I notice that's when things drop, when I'm not. Now, what she said, a couple of things that she said that I like wrote down, like, pay attention to this, like planning your feed posts. Like, we did a call a few weeks ago with the Josh Coates like formula, and I made a whole thing for you guys to plan your posts and how to plan them for the week. That is something I totally agree with, because I think that will take time, but it will give peace for your week, for your main posts. And then the same with your, like, she shared her formula of like what she kind of does every day in stories. Develop yours. I like how it fits to her life and what works for her. And, I think it's incredible you have those views, and like, we want to know how you get those views. Well, first you got to be showing up authentically and consistently as yourself. And then you need to be authentically and consistently loving on other people, so they'll come watch your stuff. But the other thing you talked about, showing the community, that's the purpose of tagging one another in stories. And that's so key. And, I wrote down a lot of stuff, but
good.
but you, like you said this several times, like, if it works for you, share it.
Yeah,
so, like,
absolutely.
Like, it's not rocket science. People don't think that you have to, you're not Alana, or maybe you are, or you might be, with the way she, like, but I watch her videos, and I actually like it when I watch her videos, because when she unpacks her groceries, I'm like, oh, you're kind of like I am in the kitchen. You don't have it all like labels. Like, you're just kind of discovering as you go. And I like, that's why I relate to her and how she teaches nutrition. And so, like, take the time to trust who you are, and only pay attention to coaches' journeys that inspire who you are.
Yes.
Not people who trap you up in the trap. I wanted to ask you one quick question, and then if you wouldn't mind, we'll see if there's any questions here on the side.
Of course.
But we all hit ruts in the business. We all have seasons where we feel like this isn't working, or this is hard, or life gets crazy, or we get sick. What advice would you give? Because I think when you've been doing it a while, you kind of know it's coming. It's still hard, but it happens. Like, what advice would you give to someone who is kind of in that season? Like, what helps you not fall off? Because you said, in last April, you're like, now I'm in it. Like, what helps you?
There are a couple different things, because like you said, we all go through seasons of life where it's just not flowing for us. Like, it's either like a lack of passion, or it's a lack of commitment, but not in like a negative way. We all have things happen. I'll give the example of my mom a few years ago. My mom is Jenny Hambel. She is a phenomenal woman. You should be her friend. She is 56, and she's so cute to look. She's just a little cutie. But anyway, about 3 years ago, we lost my grandmother. So really hard. We lost my grandmother, and then my dad had really bad eye issues. So it was just all, and then it was getting my grandfather into a home and getting him adjusted and watching him decline. And it was just all this stuff that kind of all hit at once, and it threw her off track with her business. She lost her diamond, which isn't hard to do. It's something you're just going to fluctuate with. Definitely be diamond, though. I'm trying my hardest to get there. But I'll give the example of her. She fell off, and I think she just had her own like kind of aha, and she got back on. But now there is a point to this. Use your ruts or your dips to relate to your challengers. Does that make sense? So we all have those really hard seasons of life. Like, she had that. Hold on. Super unprofessional. We all have those hard seasons of life. So use that. So before that, she always said, like, I don't understand why my challenger just can't get started. Like, just unwrap the box. Like, how is this hard? Just blend your, what, she didn't say it like that. She's much kinder speaking than I am. She's like, just get started. Like, what's the problem? And now she gets it. Life happens to all of us. So she uses that as a reminder, like when things get hard, you need to remember that this happens to all of us. And you're either going to push through it or you're going to kind of push out of it, if that makes sense. It's either going to light you or it's just going to fizzle you out. So use that to your advantage. It's like what Kelly said. Some of us seasoned people know when those kind of ebbs and flows happen. Like right now, this season change thing that's happening, this like dark by like noon, I'm not about. It's not my friend. I don't like it. So I'm as soon as I'm 100%, I'm going to start talking about that in my stories. Like, who else is really struggling with this? Because I can feel myself like just kind of pulling back and just being like, oh, I don't really want to work out. So just try to use that to your, I would die. Couldn't do it, Megan. Oh my God. So just try to use that to your advantage and just understand, like, I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, no.
Like we all go through seasons, but just recognize it and understand, like, this is what other people go through too that aren't even in the business. And this is why sometimes they find it hard to fully commit, because there's a sick parent, or there's medical problems, or it's a season change, or financial problem, like all that kind of stuff. So just put that in your wheelhouse and just pull it out and be like, you know, I went through a really rough time too, and this is how I overcame it. And these are the steps that I take. Use that kind of stuff because people love relatability and they want to see that you're in this for them. And it's not just another tick in the box, that you are genuinely trying to help. So that's my big answer.
That's good. I think it's good to hear it too from someone else, and even to hear it from myself. Like we all have those seasons, and you know, it's that whole like being planted, and then times where you're like the whole, have you been buried or you've been planted kind of thing. But I love how you said, like, it helps us to relate. I don't know how many times somebody said, and myself included, when you've been told like by a doctor, you're not allowed to work out. And you're like, but I'm a wellness coach who works out. And then you're like, oh, my business sucks. Right. It's like, how many people can't work out? Yeah. So you get to do fit nutrition for 6 weeks and talk about how much you actually miss working out when you used to hate it. But it's good to be
exactly.
Do you use a lot of hashtags?
So I do. So I'm still using it. Kelly, I don't know if you are. I found a third-party tool, STEM Social. I'm still using it. That's how I got. So you mentioned it at the retreat last year. And I want to say by like that January, I was like, I'm going to try it. And then by that, I started off with like 500 followers, and now I'm at like 2,500, I want to say. And some of them are like Egyptian princes. It's fine. Like, it's fine. But most of them are genuine people. It depends on STIM Social. It's a third-party tool. It does cost money, but I mean, I'm paying for it every month with what I make from those people that I'm finding. So I do use a lot of hashtags. I think I use like the maximum amount. I don't put them on every picture because sometimes usually a few days later, I'll go back and add them. So it gets more engagement. Not every post is a winner. And those really bum me out when like a Taco Tuesday post and I'm like, dang, this only got like this many followers, like, or this many likes. And so, and then if a post isn't getting the engagement I think it should, I know that sounds like super cocky, like you should like my stuff, I will put it in my stories. Does everyone know how to do that? Mm-hmm. Like you can post your own post into your stories. So I'll be like, new post, like check it out. Rebecca just had the biggest epiphany I've ever seen in my whole life. Yeah, but it's so worth it. It's so worth it to be like, click on this new post, and it'll get more engagement. But some of your posts just aren't for everyone, and they're not going to help everybody. And That's just how it is. Even with hashtags, my hashtags are good. I will say that. Find hashtags that work for you. Create your own hashtags so you can keep track of what you're posting. Like there's a very specific hashtag I use. It's called Midwest Fit. And I am the only person in there, but it's basically documenting my journey. So I can go pull old posts and be like, look where I was and look where I am now. So use some big hashtags. Like I use one that like everybody does. It's like, yeah, exactly. Thank you, Megan. I appreciate that. I'm in some like million people hashtag groups, but you need some of that. And then you want some smaller ones. Like the Midwest ones always do well because we sure do love the Midwest. Like I've never seen any like, we sure do love it. It's the maximum. Is it, Kelly, is it 40 hashtags you can
30.
put? 30? Okay.
Yeah.
I just copy and paste over. So that's, I know there's a special code you can use, but I have them in my notes section in my phone and I just copy and paste them over.
I just started using an app called Hash, and it's free. And you can put your hashtags in based on like pillar. So I have like 5 sets. And then you can click them and it'll shuffle them. So I could do like family, fitness, and personal development and hit shuffle and it'll populate 30 from those 3. And so that way, what's helpful is it's not always the same that we're posting on the first comment.
Yeah.
It's called Hash. It might have cost, I think it was free. But it's just quicker than me going to my notes, and I like how it rearranges them a little bit.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I was using Stem Social for a while and then I stopped only because I heard that IG was starting to crack down on people using third party.
Yeah, I've changed. I think I will mention that I think I'm almost done using it because it's starting to like block me out.
Yeah, well, and I think when you use things like that, you just want to be careful. And I think you do a good job of this, Nicole. It's not about like crazy numbers, it's about engagement. So like
Absolutely.
You could have a coach that has 80,000 Instagram followers but is not engaging anyone in their, you know what I mean, like relating to anyone. And you can have a person that has 500 followers who's like rocking it at 6 figures in this business. Not that you don't want to grow it, but like the fact that you grew it that much but in a year shows good growth versus if you did that in a month, it's like 1,000 Egyptian princes.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't want that. I already have creeps in my DMs like, hey girl. I'm like,
and Kayla Ibanez's podcast and stuff, she offers a lot of really good advice. And so does Brock Johnson when he takes over the podcast. The, what's it called? Build My Tribe podcast. Yeah. Really good information on this stuff too. That's really helpful. But I think that's, I like, I think that it's one of those things where, and I don't know about you guys, but I feel like Instagram in the last few weeks has kind of done this weird, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but it's like everything's been down.
No, it's weird. It's been weird. It's not you. I thought the same thing.
But everything Nicole's sharing here, you can do it on Facebook. You can plan your Facebook posts and you can do this on your Facebook stories. So if you're not on Instagram, if Facebook's kind of where your people are, do it in Facebook stories. It works very much the same way. And can you share one more thing and then so I think I know the answer, but I'd like you to answer the answer. But like when you do your like recipe, like when do you do the recipe part of your power houring?
So I have to put it in throughout my day because there will come a time where I'm just gonna have to be like, you're gonna get up early and you're gonna start being an adult. So
girl, I'm 40 and I still don't get up early and be an adult.
Perfect. I feel so much better. So like I said, I have a corporate job. It's an 8 to 5 job. I come home. I try my best to be down in my basement by 6 o'clock. Usually 6:30 because most days I sit on my bed in my sports bra and pants and just scroll. Like it's a problem. Anyway, but when I'm doing that, like if I catch myself like just scrolling mindlessly, I'll say, send an invite right now. Because you will stop scrolling if you know you have to do something because of it. I put it in the cracks throughout the day. I won't say my corporate job is very stressful, but it's very, it moves really fast. So, and I usually work through my lunch just because overtime, why not? So I just have to fit it into the cracks. I'm answering messages throughout the day. I'm sending invites throughout the day. That is one of the reasons why I do a lot of polls. I do a lot of like small quizzes in my stories because I need that quick engagement. And it's usually, I'm usually like for Peppermint Mocha Shakeology, I sent out 17 share cards off of Peppermint Mocha, and 10 people have already bought multiple boxes because I thank you. I was pretty pumped. Has anyone had it yet? It
I
is
tried it at leadership.
so
The
good.
box isn't here yet.
Like even the packaging, like bravo, BB, like bravo. It's a little present. Like I can't.
And the
It's so
flyer
cute.
in it has like holiday tips. Is awesome.
Yes.
Which I'm excited
So
because I talked
good.
about that on Sunday and I got it. And I'm like, excellent. Handout.
Yes. Take that ketones, whatever. Like we don't need it.
Nicole, when you said you sent the share cards
Yeah.
for Mocha, like you just sent them without people asking for it, or you had a conversation with them before?
So what I do is soon, like this past time, a few days before it was coming out, I said, I just made this big post like Christmas time is here. I love you, but like you're my pumpkin spice people, but move out of the way. It's Peppermint Mocha time. So I just made it super fun, and I said, is anyone interested in trying this? It's gonna sell out quick. And then I just made a poll about it. People were like, yes, or send me more information. And if they were yes, I would private message them on Instagram and say, hey, saw you said yes. Do you need more information, or do you want me to just send you the email and you the share card, or can I get your email and then you can just look at it on your own? And most of the time they're like, I'll look at it on my own. And it's more people know about Shakeology than they're going to lead on to. Those people are like, I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm like, yes, you do. Like, don't lie to me like that. So if they say more details, please, I will private message them. And I'll say, hey, girl, I am a hey, girl, but sometimes it's hey, lady, but I don't care. I am a hey, girl. That's how I talk. I don't care. Hey, girl, saw you wanted more information on Peppermint Mocha Shakeology. What questions can I answer for you? And it's usually like, does it taste good? What's the price? And the cool thing about this pricing for the 14 package boxes, it's affordable. It's so affordable. So that's what I do. Does that answer your question?
Yeah.
I do know some people that will put like the little text field and they'll be like, drop your email below, and then they'll just send a share card. I am not comfortable enough doing that yet because I at least want to say hi. But other than that,
And oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say, y'all can do what she just did. I mean, y'all can go tomorrow and do exactly what she just did. You can keep asking because it hasn't sold out yet. You know what I'm saying?
I continue to ask. I ask the same thing like all day long. I don't care. I don't care. I will say, what else was I just going to say? Oh, a lot of people ask me, well, are you reaching out to people? Isn't that just like a cold invite? So Rebecca, I'll answer your question real quick. So I'll find pictures. So I follow Beachbody On Demand on Instagram. I follow Team Beachbody On Demand, and I follow TBB411. That's our coach page. They always post the coolest graphics for upcoming stuff. So I will save a picture of that and I will post it into my stories, and I'll just pull colors from that to put into the font and the text fields and stuff. That's where I get a lot of my stuff from, because why do I have to make a graphic if you're going to make it for me, Beachbody? Like, take out the hard stuff. So that's what I do. I will say, like that was what I was saying, people ask me all the time, like, well, are you just cold inviting? No, because if you are liking my pictures, if you are watching my stories, you are no longer a cold invite.
Can I just say something about that? And Nicole doesn't even know this yet, because she and I had a conversation last week, and we were having a conversation about the Josh Coach stuff. And I'm like, are you really inviting 3 people to coaching every day? And she's like,
I don't care anymore. I don't care.
And I was like, so who are you inviting? Because I feel like I was melodramatically lamenting my lot in life because I got completely skunked in October and I don't like that. And she's like, dude, I just do it. And I'm like, oh. And then we had this whole conversation about the warm invites. Can I tell you, Nicole, I have invited about 150 people in the last week. I hit SC10 yesterday. And
Yes!
I have a couple of other share cards that are out now that are going to go. And it doesn't work like that your first month.
It doesn't.
Does not work like that your first month. This is not my first time around the, Beachbody globe, right?
Yeah.
But that's the benefit. Like Nicole and I met the first time in real life at a retreat at Summers, I think.
Yeah, that's where it was. Yep.
Or were you at the Easter thing? I don't remember. It was one of the two of those things.
Oh yeah.
It was one of those. And so, I don't know that I would have been watching her stories every day if we hadn't connected in real life because I didn't know who she was. I knew who she was on giant team calls, but I didn't know who she was kind of thing. And so then you have these people that you can talk to that, it's great when you hear from people on their team, but sometimes it's kind of like your mom saying the same thing over and over again and you kind of tune them out. And then you hear somebody else say it and you're like, oh, that's genius. And your mom's like, dude, I've been saying that for a year, right? So how many times have you heard, well, just send out the invites and it works. And then Nicole and I talked about it last week. I did it and it's pulling through for me.
That is phenomenal. Someone had a question, a really good question. How long in a day did it take you to invite the amount of people?
Or her. Who are you asking, Michelle? Me or Nicole?
So I don't recommend inviting 130 people in a day.
No.
Okay,
I don't even recommend what I did. I had a moment because I was all fired up. It's not 2, 2, and 2. And when you're starting, don't do what I did.
But I think what they're sharing is don't hold back. If someone's liking and engaging on your posts about especially transformation photos or things where you're sharing, and you know them, maybe you don't know them hey, come have to my wedding, but you know them
right.
Hey, let's grab a cup of coffee. If you saw them, I'd like to get to know you better. Then there are some good, Sarah could share kind of what she sent, because what she sent was either a conversation starter or an invite. It was open enough that it was I'm just reaching out to you because you recognized my journey. And that's different than just going to a bunch of people without looking at their stuff and sending messages. I get messages from other Beachbody coaches sometimes inviting me to their challenge groups. And I'm like, if you took 2 seconds because I might've liked one of their posts because it was good. Yeah. So you got to pay attention.
I've invited other coaches from not just random coaches, from our team, from our bigger team. I've invited people from that. Here's what I did. I have 2 things to say about that. Well, 3. I know this isn't my call, but you allow me to unmute. The first thing is I don't recommend doing this, especially when you start. I used to take too many chops at the tree. I'd get all excited and I'd talk to all these people and then I'd get overwhelmed and shut down and it would take me months to get the ball rolling again. So just trust the process. This isn't my first year of coaching. The second thing I will tell you is what I actually did. I've had a pretty significant transformation post the last couple of days. I just finished Morning Meltdown 100 and I have pretty impressive pictures to go along with it. And so what I did was I looked at my stories both on Facebook and Instagram, and every single person who viewed a story that had to do with transformation or my group or something like that, I messaged those people and I said, thank you for watching my stories. I hope that you get some enjoyment out of them. Have you thought about joining my November group? And then I went to every single person who liked my transformation picture or who liked that I did my 100th workout or whatever. Not you guys, but everybody that I hadn't already talked to or recently invited or wasn't already a challenger kind of thing, and said, same thing. Thanks for the encouragement on my post. I'm pretty excited about it. Have you ever thought about joining my challenge group? The third thing, because I've seen several comments coming in here. It's a lot of conversations to keep up with. My notebook would be full. How do you do that? Blah, blah, blah. Here's what I'll tell you. What do you want? What do you want? Because I write every single day My notebook is right over there on the couch. And it literally says, because I care too much about people, or because I care enough about people, I am willing to reach out to as many people as it takes, even if I have to learn a new system for keeping track of them, because I'm unwilling to leave people stuck in their before picture on their couch.
Amen.
I would rather fail 1,000 people while helping 100,000 people, because I'm like, I write that every single morning, because yes, it's a lot of people to keep track of. It is. And I'm willing to learn a new system in order to keep track of them. I got called out by one Mr. Josh Coates on his invite challenge that I did, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, whatever it was. Don't do it your first month of coaching. You don't have that many people to talk to yet. You really couldn't. But if you are freaked out about how many people it is to keep track of, what do you want?
Yeah.
Trust the process, do the 2, 2, and 2. But when that gets to be more people, then you can just remember, it's like what we talked about before this call started. Have a tracking system. And if that one doesn't work anymore, I have maxed out my notebook. Like literally I'm scrambling and writing really tiny. And I'm like, this is not a professional way to keep track of people anymore. So I need a new system. Do you know what I'm saying? So what you do is you look at the people who are a couple of steps ahead of you and find out what they do and emulate what it is that you're shooting for. But if you don't want what I have, then don't do what I do.
Yeah. And I think too, it's kind of like, when you start Morning Meltdown 100, you don't start in phase 5.
Yep.
If you started with workout 81, you would die.
You have to levitate in workout 81.
Holy crap. So, and everyone also moves at their own pace. Some people are completing it this week. I've just completed workout 60. I'm not upset about that. Like I'm working, and Sarah just completed. So what happens is Sarah's showing me what's possible as I grow to get to 100, and some people are on day 10. So don't miss the process of growing into the capability. So if you're like, I'm afraid of being a diamond coach, well, that's because diamond might be workout 81 and you're on workout 12. Just keep doing the days and you'll build up the strength to do workout 81. You know what I mean? And so, but this was so good, Nicole. I'm so thankful for your time. I know we've kept you a while.
You're fine. I'm just gonna go to bed and cough. What's the big deal?
So this was so good. Y'all, like, there's, follow her for sure. Learn from her on how to create your flavor, like who you are, like stepping into who you are. And I'll say it again, because I said it before, like, this is why events are also important, because I knew a lot of coaches from big team calls back when we had a huge Team Courage call, but the coaches I know the best are the ones that I've been in the room with. And it's been from getting out of my comfort zone, sometimes getting on a plane, driving really far through freezing cold, thinking I was going to drive off of a cliff, and Sarah Kroger freaking out with a panic attack one time in a blizzard. Don't recommend that. But, it's getting Super Saturdays are great, retreats, events. Like, it's just important, like, because not only will your business grow, but your belief in the gift of you will grow. Like that to me, when I meet friends that I've been friends with, when I run into friends I've had for a very long time back in Louisiana, when we go down to visit, the biggest thing they noticed after coaching for a year was not just my physical transformation, but they were like, she's just like different, and like she's confident, like she's like happy, and she's like, and it was like they noticed before I noticed, you know what I mean? And that came from being around people who literally are like your fan club here. They want you to see. No one in this team wants you to fail, and so staying connected to is the other thing. Whether if you can't make events, being on team calls, being in your challenge group, like this is important because it fills your tank, and so that's why I can't ever sleep on Thursday nights. I feel like I should pull an all-nighter after our calls because I get so excited. But I'm so thankful you came and you shared. I think it's good for people to hear other coaches' process, and you're doing amazing. And I'm so pumped for just everything going for you right now. And we do end in prayer, so I'd love to pray for you to feel better.
Please.
But,
Oh my
and also
gosh,
just
please.
thanks Brian for letting you be with us tonight. And, you know, y'all, this is why we do what we do, because why would someone not want to be in this community? I don't know why. Like it's just such a gift. So let's pray. And then we'll take a picture. Heavenly Father, I am so thankful for Nicole, Lord, and I'm so grateful for the gift that she is, the light that she is, the way that she shares. Lord, I pray that you would bring healing to her in her sickness right now and help her to have a good night's rest. And I give thanks for Brian and her and their relationship, and I pray for the rest of their engagement and their wedding day to just be amazing in their many years to come, Lord. I'm so thankful that we met. I'm thankful for her example to me. I'm thankful for the way that she shows up, the way you created her to be. And I just pray that you would continue to give her confidence and belief in her ability to reach her goals and just change other people's lives. Lord, I pray for everyone who's here and everyone listening to this call that they will see their story matters, and that their version of how they share it matters, and that there are people that need our story and they need us to step into each day imperfectly and to live it messy and to not be afraid to share it, Lord. And that people are stuck, and we live in a world where people feel lost and hopeless and alone, and we have a gift to give, Lord. And I pray that you would give us the confidence to get over ourselves and to share that gift, whether the gift is telling someone hello, complimenting them with no strings attached, or inviting them to be a part of a group. All of it is a gift. And I just ask God that you would help us to stop worrying about being judged and to give us the confidence to just serve others well and to love well and to speak truth over others confidently. And whenever anything negative comes, Lord, that you would just put up a shield and let it bounce right off, because you have called us to this. I know you have called us to this. I pray for all the challengers joining all of our groups this month, for the women and men we will be speaking to, for the coaches that are joining our team, that we as a team, all the way up to our founding coach, can be a light in the Beachbody community of just people who are seeking deeper purpose and meaning, people who are seeking freedom and hope, people that are seeking more than just living day by day, but really living and loving the journey that you've called us to live with the life you've given us, which is such a gift. And I'm just so grateful. And I ask that you would just give us the courage, confidence, and belief that you have called us here, and that you will guide our steps, and that you have us, Lord, in your hands. And I offer all these things in your most holy name. Amen. All right, let's take a photo so we can share it. Hang on, I was on speaker view because I always forget to do that. And 1, 2, 3, everybody smile. All right. Thank you so much, Nicole. You are amazing, girl. Hope you have a wonderful night's sleep. No coughing, just sleep. Thank you, guys. Have a great night.